And good evening, everyone. I'm Michael Smith reporting live from our studios here in Washington, D.C. America is under attack tonight as I believe Ridgeway militants and troops are on the ground here in Washington, D.C. We're waiting to hear more from the Department of Defense at this hour on exactly what is going on in Washington, D.C. But, I've been on the street today. It's been a very, very crazy day. I wouldn't recommend any of you be on the streets right now because it's very chaotic, very unstable. But we're going to bring you the news when we have it. But like I said, very, very busy day, and we're going to try and bring you the news that we have tonight on what's going on in DC I guess, before we can. So, all right, joining us now is Parker Jackson from the NUSANation studios in Chicago with the latest news. Parker, how's it going?
Yeah, good evening, Michael. It's been an interesting past 2 days in USA as we have covered, and we're back on air with you viewers tonight. Um, yeah, we're excited to be back. We're currently monitoring the DoD press briefing that's happening right now, and we will have a DoD member joining me in studio after the press briefing is over. So that's something to look forward to in the next hour. But Michael, as I understand, you're live in DC. What's the latest down there?
Yeah, so we're in DC right now. We're in our DC bureau, and we're going to be taking you around DC, taking you around what's going on here in just a second. And matter of fact, after this quick break, we're going to take you around, show you what's going on, because right now it is absolute madness on the streets of DC right now. We were shot at in our news van several times. There were people that recognized us from, our broadcast and decided to shoot at us. We were attacked, we were yelled at, we were accosted, we were mistreated. So a very, very scary situation here in Washington D.C. So I would recommend everybody to stay off the street if you can. I mean, this was a very, very, very scary situation. So we're going to take a quick commercial break to try and figure out what's going on with the DoD press briefing, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. NUSANation will be right back.
Tacos.
Can Billy come out to play?
Yes!
The 2024 Tacoma. Toyota. Let's go places.
I can't see us in there.
All right, we're back here on NUSANation. So, driving around DC here, just hopped into our blacked out sedan. Let's just drive around town and see what we can get for you. But it was a very chaotic day. Just a few minutes ago, okay, there's a tank right there. There's a tank. We're not sure whose tank that is, but there's a tank going down the street there. So, we're going to go to the World War II Memorial. We're going to show you live on air what's going on here in Washington, D.C. But a very chaotic, very scary situation here as I would say the invasion begins. This war has started as that declaration of war was passed last night. So lots of activity. Look at that, everybody. Lots of activity, lots of gunfights going on right over there. Just look at that. Look at that scene right there. Plenty of people here causing mischief. Very, very scary situation on the ground here in Washington, D.C. You see those fires. Just trying to hop out here and we can try and walk around. We have a gun, so if we have to, arm ourselves, we can do that. Let's just kind of try and walk around here. So you've got fires right there. I'm sure those have been set by Ridgeway officials or just naughty players. Let's just see here. Gunfights going on right there. Not much of a police presence, and I think that's been the story of the day is that the police presence here has been very lax. Not many officials here on the ground there's our camera, to really control the crowd, to control the crime. It hasn't really been that many people here. But like I said, it's kind of goes from peaceful to not peaceful. There's a look right there from our drone camera. A little bit of action going on at spawn right now. But there was plenty of gunfights, plenty of battles going on just a few minutes ago. And there's a lot of people in game right now. I'm not sure what the actual game count is at this hour, but lots of people here, lots of activity right now. And lots of murder, lots of kidnapping, lots of carjackings right now. So we're just going to keep walking here. My car is unlocked. I don't want to get that stolen, so let me just keep walking. Let's just keep going. Let's see, and that DoD press conference is going on as I speak. So we're going to try and figure out what happened with
Yes,
that
it
here
is
in a
going
sec.
on. I'm currently monitoring it as we speak, listening in, trying to figure out what the main points are. And like I
Right.
said, as soon as it ends, we'll kick off Parker Jackson live with the SecDef joining
Of
us,
course.
along with some
So
of his joint chiefs of staff to talk more about that.
Of course, of course. So we're gonna try and drive around here, maybe go over to the White House and see what's going on there. Like I said, we don't have many sources right now. Honestly, the news is coming in very, very slowly. So we're trying to figure out also what's going on along with you. So not much news right now. We're gonna try and report it as best we can. Let's try and go over the White House here. We usually have correspondents, but all of our correspondents are. Oh, that's an alley. All of our correspondents are busy right now. They're actually trying to find other stories for you. So this is a surprising turn of events. So let's just kind of try and go to DC, go to Washington here, go to, oh my gosh, what is this guy doing? So
Yeah.
here's the White
And
House.
while you do that, Michael, I'm just going to kind of give the viewers a kind of brief overview of what's happening in this briefing right now. What they're talking about basically is nothing very important. They're just basically saying the president has signed this into law now, and we have moved into Ridgeway. Now, they're not talking about how long they've been in Ridgeway, what it's like in Ridgeway, how fighting's like, and that's what we're going to get to tonight later on. But go ahead.
Okay, so the USM has moved into Ridgeway. Is that what you're saying?
I believe that is what the press conference is all about. They made their initial entry into Ridgeway tonight.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, we'll
Or
keep,
they will be
we'll keep an
making
eye
it.
on that. We'll keep an eye on that. Let's just kind of keep driving here. My car almost lost some steam there. Let's just keep driving. I know some of y'all watching like, oh my gosh, where's the action? Where's the shooting? Where's the fighting? You know, we're trying to figure out where the oh, look at that. All right. Well, I think we might have some for you right here. Oh man. Yeah. So let's just kind of see what we can do. Let's try and get a chopper feed. Let's just kind of try and get over here and get a chopper feed. Let's do that. Okay, so all right, so we've got live footage here. This is live from our drone here in DC. You can see all the killings, all the carjackings, all of the murder going on on the ground here in DC right now. This is at the World War II Memorial. Just trying to see here. There's some police presence finally. There's been not a lot of police presence here today. It's been very scarce, honestly. Not like yesterday. Yesterday it was very, very huge. It was a very huge presence, and there were people here arresting people. Look at that. Oh my gosh. They're going to shoot that guy. They just shot that Officer 8. I believe he was in the Navy. Wow. That's crazy. Right there on air. You see that, folks. All those gun battles, all that violence on your screen there. And not much word from the president right now. So that's typical.
Zero word from the president, Michael, and in fact, zero word from his administration on any diplomatic resort to solve this crisis that's going on within our capital. We talked about it last night. We have still heard nothing from the State Department, heard nothing from any diplomatic officials, ambassadors, anything like that. So that's something that is very interesting to hear about tonight.
It's very saddening that we're having these issues. All right, so let me see here. Parker, if you want to go back in the studio, let's just see. We're gonna cut to you. I know your feed is not on the studio right now. Okay, there's an ambulance guy.
Okay,
So, like I said, we're trying to figure this all out live, guys. So, is the briefing over?
I believe it is still happening.
Okay. So we're gonna try. Like I said, we're gonna try and report during this briefing. We don't have any access to this briefing. I mean, we could have, but you know, it was a lot of technical wrangling and twisting with this. So, like I said, we're the only network bringing you this news live midday on your Friday. Which I mean, you know, I would assume tonight it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a very crazy night here in DC, and we're going to have a
long night.
You turn up your mic a little bit, Parker. And you know, oh look at that. So we're gonna keep this camera on the World War II Memorial for as long as we can. Say, Parker, your feed is still on the studio.
Is it not showing? Is it not showing?
No.
Should be.
No. So
Okay,
that's fine. All right. So okay. So we're gonna try and, like I said, figure all this out and get you the latest news when we get it. So like I said, we're here. I'm here at our DC studios. There's a live look at the World War II Memorial where all of this has been going on all day. There's been a lot of spawn killing, a lot of carjacking, murder, and a holy anarchy in our country today. And no word really from the president, no word from any government official on how this is going to impact our diplomatic relations, nothing from the UN, nothing from anybody on potentially helping us in this matter. So, very scary, very, very scary times tonight. So, let's go ahead and go back to Parker Jackson. He's in the studio. Parker, you're there.
Yes,
Let's just
hello.
you're in Chicago. I wish I was in Chicago right now. That's
I
crazy. I
am,
wish I was
and
in
I'm glad
Chicago.
I'm not in the war
But
zone. Yeah.
absolutely. So tell us
Surprising that
what's
Chicago is surprising.
it is.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, what
talk
were you
to
gonna
us.
say?
Yeah, talk to us about what's going on. All that good jazz.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, DoD is currently holding this press briefing, basically talking about how they are planning on or have not already made entrance into Ridgeway. Also, some news coming out of Ridgeway tonight saying that from the governor's office telling their people tonight that Ridgeway has taken a huge victory against the battle in Noosa, saying that the National Guard defended the state against attackers and invaded Noosa. So we'll press the Secretary of Defense when they come on in just a couple minutes about that. Again, interesting to see how they report it and then how we report it. You can't really know which one's the truth, and I hope if everybody's watching, they can trust hearing rather than these random people that are coming from Ridgeway and trying to kill our citizens. Like I said last night, we erupted into chaos last night. The state of Ridgeway invaded Noosa, and boy, was it a crazy night. There was multiple killings, multiple casualties, but in the end, it felt like our forces did a decent amount job of defending DC and defending the capital. On top of that, last night, President Gonson signed into law a declaration of war against Ridgeway. And we reported on this last night. This is not Ridgeway's first war. Ridgeway loves war, and we're just another casualty of that. On top of that, we have been reporting on NUSANation exclusively that there has been Ridgeway forces that have infiltrated our government system. So they have infiltrated games, they have infiltrated departments. We have heard from multiple people that Ridgeway has infiltrated the Treasury. Ridgeway has infiltrated the military on top of some of the local police forces. And we saw that last night as they were coming onto these cameras and basically coming onto our radios and coming onto things that only people of NUSA and NUSA employees and government officials should have access to. And they were saying all these things saying go Ridgeway. And that was also reported by Taken, one of the special forces commanders in Ridgeway that we talked to last night. That really has gone under the radar if you think about it. There has not been many people talking about over the last couple hours. And as we wait to talk to the DoD officials, Michael, you're going back to Washington, D.C. studios as well, just to be safe. We're in here in the Ridgeway studios right now in our state-of-the-art studio, as you can see. I'll fly you around. This is where we held coverage. We even have a window on the no, that's right, a window on our parking lot in downtown Chicago where you're all invited to come and take a look at it. And of course, once the DoD officials are ready to join our stream, we'll bring it to you live, of course. Now let's go ahead and talk about what tonight will look like for the American people. Once again, tonight, it's a Friday night. We all know how Friday nights are, and it's on top of a war that's happening. So if you're coming home, we're advising our viewers just to be safe, making it home. And I would say even come armed. I mean, you never know as a civilian what might happen to you in the streets. Of course, you saw last night our correspondents were shot and killed multiple times, so be prepared for that. On top of that, tomorrow we do have an election, and that's something that I want to bring up next. But the election is tomorrow, and we brought you that exclusive report last night from the FEC that we got a statement from. But on top of that, the FAC released another statement this morning saying that to ensure that these conflicts do not impact the election, the FEC office has a system in place to further validate our filtering process on top of ensuring the election of all future ones are tamper-free. So again, if the FEC is saying there's not to be some side of inside reporting that there is possible tampering on whose side of the campaign, well, we can only suspect, and that will most likely be the Godson campaign, as we all know. So once again, FEC is working to fix the tampering issue. They are working digitally to pay attention to that and see what's happening on that. On top of everything else, They're just going to make sure that everybody is safe. We talked to the DC deputy mayor, and he should be coming up later on the show as well. On top of that, NUSANation will be covering the city council hearing. City Council of DC will be cutting in around 6, and so in about 2 hours now, they'll be cutting around and they will be talking and giving an update with the council. They're kind of giving us where the state of DC is as well, and we'll hope to get them on our show before or after that. And yeah, Michael, can you hear me now?
We can hear you. Yeah, we just had a car bombing situation here at the World War II Memorial. Our van was bombed, and we are just trying to figure out our way. But let's just kind of get our camera back on the World War II Memorial where all of this is happening at spawn. And I don't actually have a count of the server size right now. I'm not sure how many people are here or what the status is. We're just trying to kind of get on the air. But, and this might be a shorter report until we can kind of get things going. But, yeah, it's about 30 people in the server right now. Not that many people. We're just trying to figure it all out, figure out exactly what's happening, and see what's happening. So let me just see here. Everybody's pretty much listening to this briefing. I think after the briefing, people will probably start joining the DC game again. That's just kind of what I'm assuming. It fluctuates. It goes back and forth. But we just want to give you this special report and let you know what's going on. Like I said, this is a midday report, only network in this country broadcasting live any coverage of tonight's events. So we're just trying to figure it all out like you are. And let's just see, boy, look at that guy popping a wheelie on our camera. And let's just kind of...
One thing important to mention on top of that, Michael, is we will be live tomorrow starting around, I believe, 5 p.m. to deliver the results of the election, a part of Decision Desk 2024. So that's something you'll want to join us for. We'll have the electoral map up. We'll be counting all the votes, interviewing candidates, stuff like that, just because this is such a monumental election,
Such a monumental election. This is going to be a very big election. This is going to determine what kind of country we want to be. Once again, all of these elections just here lately have seemed like they're just so crucial. But we'll be live 5 p.m. Eastern time, discussing all the headlines, all the news, all the things that you need to know before you go to the polls, and discuss poll safety and election security, because that's important as well. Mm-hmm. So especially right now. So I see is that the U.S. Mint Police, they are on the scene right now, and I see, like I said, not much police on this. Well, look at all those people spawning in. So not much police on the scene right now. Not much. So we're just trying to figure all that out as well and let you see what's happening. But like I said, very interesting day. We're going to bring it to you, any news that we have when we get it. Let me just see here. Is that briefing still going on?
Yes, it is.
Oh, my Lord. All right, well, let's just see what we can do to pass the time. What I'm going to do is we're going to just have the audio playing, and then we'll come back. So everybody stay in the call. We'll be right back. We're going to put the audio on for our viewers to hear. So let's just everybody listen in.
We can take extra precautions against them. Like solidifying. Yes.
We would never accept Ridgeway as high ranks in DHS. You realize that, right? Because of the risk that they pose to the United States. Well,
sure. But...
So we're basically discriminating against them because we're not going to offer them any high rank. So in theory, we're already discriminating. It doesn't matter whether we like it or not.
It's not discriminating. It's a basic background clearance. So if you're in war in real life, you're not going to give someone who's previously affiliated with the other side a rank in intelligence. That's just called a background check. It's not discrimination.
And that goes for all agencies at that point, because intelligence doesn't matter which agency they're in. If they're in marshals and they become, chief of staff, and they completely admin abuse the entire Trello, take out the entire Discord, it really doesn't matter at that point, right?
I don't think it's discrimination. I think it's just once this war is over, I think there is a better chance that they can get that high rank.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
but currently it's too much of a what's the word?
Security risk.
Security risk.
Yeah, security risk against the entire. I suggest like solidifying discords and making sure everybody is in a good stand. I don't know.
What are we gonna freeze hiring? I mean, the IC has.
That's up to department directors.
Okay, am I gonna ask my question now, or?
What's
Okay,
your
I'm
question?
good. Okay. So
wait.
I
Can I just add on to what was just asked? So it depends on what type of person. Like if they are big in NUSA or was in NUSA, or if they are. It's all about background checking and how long they've been in NUSA. So if somebody joined like 5 days ago to NUSA, or they aren't active but they are in Ridgeway, then there obviously is something that might be wrong with that.
All right, Jay, go ahead and ask your question now.
okay. So I was wondering. Let me pull it up here. Do you have any response to the detainment of T Soups and what is this? EJ Bowser in the state of Ridgeway?
I believe they did not have their protective details with them, and it was a political visit when they had attempted to go. There has been, I believe, they have been released at this point due to, I'm assuming they're trying to have good terms with them. There's no official statement on it, as I believe they were detained for less than 10 minutes. It's not of our top concern right now, as they have been released.
Okay.
We got Dev Tools and Jeremy. Riz. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, so. What's
Jeremy
your
is better.
question?
Oh, sorry. What?
What's your question?
Oh, I don't have a question. I'm.
Dev
Yeah.
Tools?
All right. Well, it's not a question, but I just wanted to comment that it's really a sad day today to see all these people, like Large Titanic, who used to be patriots, turned into terrorists for Ridgeway.
It is a sad day.
He left the call when I. He was watching. He left the call when I said that. All right. Well, that's it.
Thank
Sam
you.
Police? No, that isn't that the dude that was trolling? Which one was trolling?
Patriarchy left.
Oh yeah.
So it'll go.
Sam Police.
All right,
Or the
Kank.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up?
So I just want to say that DevTools guy who just came up here, he was giving out cars to the Ridgeway National Guard. He's not a true patriot.
Do we have any proof of that?
I'm sure he'll admit to it.
I didn't see him spawning in cars, but he attacked the Pentagon multiple times.
Oh, not a true patriot.
I believe that's an issue for intelligence instead of.
But T Soups didn't come to Ridgeway on a political visit. She came to kill people, but like that's
Well,
that's a conversation for another day. Thanks for letting me
Yeah.
up, though, guys.
Perfect. Thank you. Sam
Alright.
Police. What's up?
Is the question that I have, well, there might be a chance sanctions might soon come if the war gets worse.
I do not believe so, as
I-
management between both communities has already discussed sanctions. That would be really a question for Ukraine and the other members of the group management team, as we have no control over the sanctions.
As that, like, how can we identify who is who with who is the Ridgeway National Guard between our own armed forces? Because during yesterday, when they conducted a raid on the White House along with the Capitol Hill, we didn't know both like FBI was shooting at us, even though if there was friendlies on the roof.
I believe that was just in a panic by the FBI. More likely in the future, there will be more well conducted operations and eliminations. It's just because how at the time, how do you want to put this? At the time, there was not effective Secret Service presence due to it being late at night. However, from now on, the Secret Service, I believe, is on high alert, is doing whatever they can to protect the White House at all times, along with cooperation with the SWAT units and the Coast Guard. Any more questions?
Pickinator
No, that's all.
or
Alright,
large.
Yeah, I think Large Titanic has a question here.
I don't have a question. I'm just here.
Okay.
So a large portion, so to speak, of the military board of governors is composed of high-ranking members of Ridgeway. What will the Pentagon be doing to address that?
So at the moment,
Nothing.
a discussion between the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the Secretary of Defense, Deputy Secretary of Defense. I do not believe there's a plan at this time, and if there was, I would not be authorized to comment on it. So that's still being discussed. I can ask Peep if there's any plans about that, but
What was the question?
Ridgeway the Board of Governors are mainly composed of high ranks in Ridgeway.
Large is a community manager there, but sanctions cannot be levied against people. Ranks can be taken away. You can be reinstated if you were a victim of being fired due to being involved in the war. So this is a GM directive.
Anybody else? That's the case. We'll wrap this up.
All right, we
Anybody in game.
attending this briefing. There's no questions in game. It's not in VC. That will conduct this Pentagon press briefing. We thank you all for your time. Any additional questions can be deferred at the next press briefing or in my DMs.
Thank you.
Oh. Okay, well, I think the briefing ended, so I'm not sure exactly what happened. We're going to go ahead and just cut our coverage out. We thank you for tuning in to NUSANation tonight. Are we? Okay, all right. Well, I'm so sorry, everybody. Okay, we're going to come back on the air at a little bit later tonight. We're going to come on the air tonight at 8:30 Eastern time for On Balance, and then maybe a little bit earlier for Parker Jackson tonight. But other than that, that's our coverage for tonight. Thanks for watching NUSANation, Washington, D.C. Michael Smith. Have a good one.